answer your questions, whatever is possible. Otherwise, I'll come back to you later. And may I go through the presentation? I hope you are able to see the slide, which I moved over to second slide. And this is a little bit background of Tata Coffee Limited. And in short, most of you may be aware of what Tata Coffee is all about. I only knew about the last 2 to 2.5 years. And Tata Coffee has a long history of more than 85 years from 1922 as a plantation company. Earlier it's called plantation business. Nowadays we call it as a company or organization because it also works as systematic like a continuous manufacturing industry. I also given some background that how this company was evolved over a period of time. Earlier there used to be two companies which is called the Coop Coffee Estate Company. It's at Puribetta, Karnataka. Coffee Estates Company based in London were actually amalgamated to form Consolidated Coffee Estates Limited. This was taken over by Tata Tea in 1992 and renamed as Tata Coffee Limited in 2000. It's a wide, geographically it's very wide, almost 7,400 hectares of the land, comprising of 17 coffee estates, 2 tea estates in Karnataka, particularly in Kodagu, Chikmagalur, Hassan districts. Typically a good statistic is around 20 to 25% of this district population belong to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe community. There's one coffee estate for us along with 4 tea estates in Tamil Nadu, the place where we call it as Anmalai, and our coffee curing works where the processing of coffee beans takes place to the saleable product, which is situated at Kudige, Karnataka district. The place is called Kushal Nagar. And just to give a background, plantations are situated in the rural and hilly areas of Karnataka and even Tamil Nadu. The second part of the business, this all belong to one SBU which is called the plantation SBU. Second part of the business, another SBU which is called Instant Coffee Division, which currently I am heading. They are situated 2 manufacturing plants. One is in Theni, which is close to Madurai in Tamil Nadu. Other one is Tupran, which is close to Hyderabad, around 38 to 40 kilometers from Hyderabad. It's in Andhra Pradesh. Again, both these manufacturing industry falls into rural and backward areas. And all these our areas of operations, be it a plantation, be it a tea estate, be it a instant coffee division, be it curing works, all of them fall into place where there is a good sizable population of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe communities are there. So this is just to give you a background about what Tata Coffee is all about. And we will now take it forward from here to Tata Coffee on corporate social responsibility. Before this affirmative action initiative really picked up its momentum, still like many other Tata companies, even Tata Coffee Limited, which is a part of Tata Tea, nowadays it is called Tata Global Beverage Limited, TGBL. We focus on many people welfare measures, and really I can say it is very close to the benchmark because there are some international coffee estates where we also go at par with them. And these welfare measures actually gives us a support to our business sustainability. Like many of the Tata companies, these facilities do have their own housing for the workmen, for the managers, for the supervisory staff. We also have hospitals built in our plantation estates which will take care of the employees and nearby communities. We also have schools run for our employee children as well as communities where they can take the support and do their education facility for their children. Apart from this, we also believe in developing a safe work environment for our employees and key communities around us. This is how the foundation was built for Tata Coffee Limited. Because before even any affirmative action coming to play, this sort of welfare measures was one of the most requirement, if you can see, most of the Tata companies, because had visited companies. I worked in Tata Chemicals for almost 27 years. We had manufacturing sites in Tata Chemicals at Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal. We do have similar facilities. So Tata Groups more or less have similar kind of welfare measures, which is making them a differentiator concept as far as the other organizations are concerned. Taking that as a stepping stone, now we want to go to affirmative action as a focus area within this umbrella of CSR. Now we started looking beyond welfare measure, how to really focus on our employees as well as surrounding communities. Because employees is equally important stakeholder, as well as community is also very critical and important stakeholder for our business sustainability. We started developing our own human development index, which is internationally being measured, which is based on 3 dimensions, what we called education, health and standard of living. And typically, India is having a score of around 0.6 out of 1, 0.64 or so. And we started mapping the similar index in our plantation estate, which falls around 0.72. And we got an action plan how to develop it further and take it to the next level. In Tata Coffee, we also run, apart from the regular schools, hospitals and housing complex, many community-based, customized initiatives. Like a couple of them I mentioned, the critical ones, the important ones. We call community-based rehabilitation centers at Palibhetta. Swastha, which is called Center for Special Education and Rehabilitation. There is a good amount of population where there is a disabled person or mentally not very grown-up children who are there around that community. So we had created this center which will take care of them and boost their confidence and try to develop their skill matrix to next level and put into the mainstream of society. That was the function of Swastha. And we also called DARE, another welfare institute, which is the developmental activities for rehabilitative education in Annamalai. Swastha is basically meant for differently able children. Similarly, DARE is also meant for differently able children. We found this, the government and the surrounding community, they are not doing too much about this differently able children. That's why Tata Coffee took a step forward and started our own centers in taking care of these children. This is how the corporate social responsibility pie of the Tata Coffee actually built upon, and we are going from one year to another year improving these facilities and trying to capture more of the scope and trying to benefit the community around. I will take you to the next slide, which talks about from CSR, how are we focusing on affirmative action, which is a built-in focus. I told the CSR basically addresses the weaker section. The weaker section, in my view, is economically backward or opportunity-starved people. These are the people where the CSR focus comes. But if you look at affirmative action, this brings in a focus on a community which is not only economically backward, they're also not very well equipped with themselves in terms of thinking, in terms of believing themselves, in terms of developing their own confidence. That's why simple economical support or simple financial support may not take this SC/ST community to compete with other economically backward communities, but it also leaves them a little bit step behind. That's why this affirmative action actually focuses not only giving a support in finance, but also in the other areas, which is going to be the key for the affirmative action, which Tata Group actually came out with 4 E's, which is talking about education, employability, employment, and entrepreneurship. Not only giving the financial support, but making them better skilled and making them rejoin into the society mainstream, so that they'll also move along with the mainstream with much higher confidence. That's why when we talked about affirmative action, we thought that it is very much well designed for Tata Coffee to take it forward. Because as I told you, Tata Coffee plantation, basically our most of our workforce, 95% are in the plantation area. Whereas the instant coffee division do have manufacturing setups, but they have a limited number of people, put together around 700 people in both the plants, a little higher degree of automation and modernization. Whereas the plantation, basically more of a manual activity, although the modernization automation is being done nowadays, but still you can't get rid of the people quality coming to the plantation. That's why it is more of a people-oriented agricultural practices, where people need to see the fruit, select the fruit as per the quality, and pluck it from the coffee plant and make it a very good premium product. And our coffee plantation, of course, it is one of the Asia's largest, and it is called a triple certified coffee estate. What it means by triple certified is there are the sustainable practices which are being calibrated and certified by the international organizations like Rainforest Alliance, Wood certification, and Social Accountability 8000 certificates. This will actually give us premium on our product. So for this we need to take people along with us. Almost close to 8,700 to 9,000 people work every year in our plantation estates, and most of them do fall into the category of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe community. So that's why we thought that not only having this CSR going year to year stronger, but also let us have some more focus on affirmative action under the umbrella of AA, so that SC/ST community will also be made to compete and come along and join in the mainstream with their confidence up. That is where it is helping us very much in Tata Coffee. And this affirmative action is driven through an affirmative action committee, and in this committee all the members are key functional heads. I am also one of the key functional head who is part of this committee, and it is guided by our managing director, because we felt that this actually demonstrates our commitment to the affirmative action group as well as its action plans. After this, we also, as a committee, when we discuss, we make a lot of short-term, long-term action plans, how to make this initiative going to be the key enabler for our sustainability in Tata Coffee. We strongly feel this affirmative action initiative is going to make Tata Coffee an organization which will lose through years, by balancing the community needs as well as organization needs. Sorry. In this committee, the committee members play a role to keep learning the best practices coming from this initiative from other data group companies as well as other companies. Maybe CII is acting one of the very good platform for us, and make this initiative a strong one in Tata Coffee and be it very well aligned with Tata Group, because Tata Group has started this initiative and we took this initiative as very important to us because as if we felt it is very well designed for Tata Coffee. That's why we just went on to this initiative and trying to make our presence very well felt in the group. Although this initiative started only last 18 months in Tata Coffee, though the discussions were on last almost 20 months, we are trying to make some impact in last 12 to 18 months. And we also take a lot of help from our parent company, which is Tata Global Beverage Limited. They are also proceeding with this initiative. They traveled quite a good distance and we are trying to learn. My colleagues in Tata Global Beverage Limited, they are helping us how to understand this initiative much better, how to make our execution more effective. And this is where we keep looking at our parent company as well as Tata Group, other companies. This is what is one of the prime job of this affirmative action committee. Coming back to the next slide, where we talked about a little bit about our geographical advantage in driving this initiative. Maybe some of the companies may not have this advantage, but we in Tata Coffee do have this unique advantage. As I talked to you earlier, the plantation activities are highly manual orientation. And it also goes well like a family employment. The husband comes for the job, wife comes for the job, and the children who are more than 18 years as a social accountability standard, we try to teach them some of the agricultural practices skill, and he may be joining at a little one step higher than his parents and trying to help us. And this is happening over generations. It is not the one which started recently. And today, if you see our total workforce, more than 50% of these SC/ST communities we are handling through our plantation activities. That gives them not only employment, but also they associate with us in our growth plans, in our strategy execution, and we'll try to make this community to prosper more and more as the generations passes by. And thus this affirmative action really going to support us very well. Earlier when we talk about CSR, we talked about, as I told you, how to support them financially and make them better knowledgeable, better skilled, and try to rejoin them in the mainstream. Through our experience, we felt segregating this community and trying to do the needful only for the segregated people may not be a very good option. We feel that when we are trying to address the needs of this community, we also wanted to join along with the main community and trying to be grouping together and allowing them to compete by supporting financially, also by making them more confident by taking their skills up. That is how we are trying to make an impact on this community to come in, compete and join in the mainstream and live confidently through. That's why this affirmative action, which talks about a systematic approach on all the 4 dimensions of employment, entrepreneurship, education, and employability. We thought that let us take now these 4 dimensions and trying to make an action plan which support this dimension. Some of the dimensions are very prominent in Tata Coffee, like employment. It's very prominent because we are already employing 60% of our workforce, which belongs to this community. Entrepreneurship, we are not that strong. Education and employability, yes, we are making a lot of action plans to support in these 2 dimensions also. I will share what are the action plans, short term as well as long term, and also take you through what are the things we are trying to do as well as we are doing, both. I think that is how I am going to take you in all the 4 dimensions. Meanwhile, as I said, let me also talk about a couple of key challenges what we are going to face in this initiative and how we are also trying to overcome this. Providing immediate means of livelihood and employment opportunities, which talks about 2 dimensions, employment and entrepreneurship. Yes, whenever we are taking workforce, we try to see them and we try to give them all the facilities, be it a permanent workforce, be it a migrated workforce, because plantation activity is a seasonal activity. That means during the season of picking the fruits, we require more workforce. Rest of the seasons, it will be lesser workforce. So during our enrolling of workforce, we try to give a preference to these communities, and even for the migrated workforce, we try to give housing as well as other facilities which we are trying to extend for our permanent employees. This is how we are trying to make themselves a completely stable and trying to build from there. And there is another dimension which was equally facing as a bigger challenge, was employability part, which is not directly employability, but most of these community people who come to the plantation and do a lot of hard work in the day, doing their job very well, but they also have, in our experience, do have vulnerability in getting attracted towards some of the social evils or the weaknesses. Typically, I'm talking about alcoholism. This is one of the prominent things which we have found in our plantation estate. The reasons could be many. One, they may be thinking that they are not up to the mark, they are not able to really compete, although they got something job, they are not very much about certainty of their progress. Maybe many other reasons which makes them to incline towards some of the supporting evil measures like alcoholism. That's why we keep a lot of focus on this, how to make these people who are inclined toward this, how to handle them, how to counsel them, how to get rid of these habits and bring back them to the normal course of social life. This is one big challenge for us. Giving simply employment, giving money in their hands sometimes doesn't solve all their problems, because part of the money is going to the family, part of the money is going to the places where it is not supposed to go. So these sort of imbalances we are trying to address, and we are contributing in this way their better employability by tracking their absenteeism rates, by tracking their out of the work life. What are they doing? How much they are supporting to the family? How they are spending time post their work? This is where we thought this is going to be a challenge. We are trying to address this. And we also felt that sometimes there are gaps in skills, quality education, low risk taking ability. These are all putting them a little bit back in the competition. It is not only ability, it is also their own confidence levels, thinking that they are not capable of. That is a more bigger danger. So we are trying to see that how best our managers cope up every day, start talking to them, counseling them, trying to do rewards and recognition, appreciating their jobs, and trying to parallelly educate them, their children, and how to give the confidence by empowering them more, getting the jobs done, supervised by them. This is how we are trying to address. These are the challenges, but yes, we do have plans to address. We are trying to go forward with our thought process. And many things are yet to do. No? We are trying to do, and still there are a lot of scope, and we keep improving year on year in these dimensions. After talking about all this, I'm going to the next slide, which talks about typically our affirmative action policy, because we feel that talking about any initiative, the guiding force should be a policy written and signed by the head of the organization, demonstrating a commitment. Yes, we are abide by these guidelines. What we draft, it is something like what we call typically a public commitment. So we display this, we communicate in their local languages to all people. This is what we are trying to do for you. Please come forward and trying to take advantage of this initiative and trying to be part of Tata Coffee. So I'm not going to read the whole policy, but I'm going to touch upon key points in this. The policy talks about our belief in social equality. The policy talks about our principles of equal opportunity, and be it a recruitment, be it in career advancement, how we are going to demonstrate. Also a commitment talking about supporting this initiative, as I told, socially and economically disadvantaged sections. This is where I feel that affirmative action, earlier I talked about you, it is slightly different from CSR. CSR major addressal comes from economically disadvantaged sections, whereas affirmative action also focuses the second dimension, which in CSR scope is very less, in affirmative scope is high, that is socially disadvantaged sections. That's why we are saying that affirmative action is giving us a lot of focus to address this part, which is socially disadvantaged section. Particularly we found this community, scheduled caste or scheduled tribe, definitely requires a higher support here. Simply giving him money, the people are sponsoring some students for the colleges, may not be sufficient. Yes, that is required, but may not be sufficient in making them to compete into the general pool. So that's why we thought that the socially disadvantaged sections, through our counseling, through our engagement with those people and continuous interaction and trying to listen them, what they want and what we can do, and doing it. This is what is very important. That is what is touched upon third point in our account, affirmative action policy. At the end, we also set ourselves a goal, saying that we'll try to enhance their employability options, entrepreneurship options, and we are trying to commit ourselves to create entrepreneurship abilities and promoting for their children as well as themselves quality education and supporting their skill development, so that they not only get money, but also they get in the process a lot of their lost confidence back and trying to join the mainstream of the society by keeping their heads high. This is what about our policy, certain critical dimensions I touched upon, and I think that is what is in front of you in the slide. This is signed by our managing director, and we keep displaying this policy across our organizations and trying to communicate to all the workforce. And during our scheduled communications, we talk about this initiative after our safety review. The affirmative action more or less second place it takes along with CSR and people initiatives. Later we go for our review of our operational business parameters. And the next slide I'm trying to take you through is this affirmative action committee, which formally has been announced in November 2011, and the committee members, you can see all the 5. Of course, the chairperson of the committee is Mr. Hamid Haq, who is the managing director, and Mrs. Kristin Jamal, she is the VP Corporates in Bangalore office. She takes care of HR administration and everything. And myself, I'm Vice President in Instant Coffee Division. I'd been given additional roles of affirmative action champion, who will try to lead and make the things happen on the ground. And Mr. Sampath, who is our plantation head, under whom a lot of this workforce belonging to ST communities works. And Mr. Pai, who is Vice President Legal, to understand our positions. And these people, as a functional heads, when we join into the committee, we always feel that the decision making is much faster, and that is why we kept all the functional head into this committee. Now I would like to take you through how do we review our progress on affirmative actions, and it also gives some statistical data for you all to know where Tata Coffee is placed under each dimension of 4 E's. The first dimension, of course, as I told, which is a stronger dimension of Tata Coffee, which is employment dimension. You see, last 4 years, our percentage of SC/ST population is in the range of 65 to 70%, which by all standards we see it very good, and to sustain this highest level of percentage is going to be our challenge for the days to come forward. These geographies do have a ratio of typically 25% of this population, but we wanted to strive to do something more for these communities along with affirmative action. That's why we're trying to take the people more belonging to these communities and trying to be part of our main business. Plantation business is one of the core business of Tata Coffee, and where you can say that our workforce almost to 9,500 to 10,000, that is what is the workforce which is involved around Tata Coffee. Predominantly 95% of this workforce belongs to plantation division, and where we are trying to balance the ratio of 65 to 70%. And we are making our action plan to sustain this percentage and trying to do similar help for this community in terms of the first T, which is employment dimension. We'll take you to the other dimension, which is employability. As I told you, for us the employability is, apart from developing their skill, Also, the people who are working, the people who are employed, how do they sustain their employment opportunities? How they will not deviate from here to lower side again. So we try to take care of those communities, SC/ST communities, not to allow them to drift from the opportunity which we provided by the first dimension employment. So we try to take care of them, their social evil closeness, we try to counsel them, we try to talk to them, and we also maintain our de-addiction centers for not only the persons who got already into this alcoholism, but proactively addressing them, not to go there, talk about their what is called standard life, and talk about their balancing of their nutrition in food, and talk about their better living conditions. This is what we try to do in the de-addiction centers, and we got specialized people who addresses this counseling, and we had given some statistics just to get a feel of that. Everywhere we try to take some sample of these people and allow it to take it to the extreme levels of bringing back them who are really into this social evils deeper, coming back, putting them into the mainstream and making them confident to be in the mainstream so that they'll become our advocates for this community further. As I told, employability, another dimension is also we try to create the skill development for the SC/ST students. We try to create all across our geographies, take the students, trying to sponsor, trying to develop their skill building, sorry, and trying to see that what best way they can learn their skills which they are having interest. It is not only giving the skill what we needed, it is also developing their skill where they got interest. That's very important. And we also identified some of the NGOs who are really supporting us. There is one NGO in Bangalore which is called Unnati. They take the students, they give a 70 days rigorous coaching, of course a boarding facility, and they guarantee their employment. Very, very important. That's why I am trying to touch upon this initiative. They are doing a great job. We are trying to take their help and sponsor our students and trying to take the support of this NGO and putting back these students into their batches and develop their skills. And this NGO is also guaranteeing them their employment, which is very good for us. And why we need to do, there is also then growing or pressing urgency for us is a lot of rapid urbanization is also going to put a lot of stress on us to have people at plantation. So we are trying to balance both. We want our businesses to grow. We want our affirmative action to take lead in our business sustainability. Along with that, we are also trying to see what best we can do for the people who got interest in different skills, how to select them. There is a rigorous process of selecting these students will happen. Then we also take their parents' permission and trying to sponsor to this NGO. They stay there for 70 days and they come to the base level, number 1 level, number 2 level of their skill building. And this NGO is also helping them to get some employment. That is how we are trying to make these people highly employable. And once they are employable, they will be part of the mainstreams of the society. And they started working along with the mainstream, they started developing their confidence, and they don't feel much of a disturbing when they are moving along with the society. That's why we feel that this is a very important initiative for us, which we are going to take it forward. And third dimension, which is education dimension. We also have a lot of trusts and Kurk Foundation, employee trusts. These trusts basically intended to develop education facilities for the communities surrounding plantation, sorry, which is not only helps Tata Coffee, but a lot of other people, coffee growers around us. Some of you may be aware that coffee plantation, 96% of the coffee plantation happens not through corporate but small farmers. So they also belong, they also started living with us as a one community. So whenever we do some impact to these communities on these four dimensions of E, the whole society is getting benefited. So we'll continue. So we are also giving a lot of scholarships and sponsoring the students. And we got, as I told, there is a 3-member team for us to select the candidates and trying to give the support for the people who are having keen interest and wanted to really build upon their education. That is where we are giving more support. The support depends on their interest as well as their inclination. Sorry. This is how we keep helping the students. As I told, if somebody is hungry, giving a fish may not be sufficient. Telling him how to fish is very important. That's why these education should lead them to support other dimensions, which is like employability or entrepreneurship. That is what is our final goal at the end. Of course, being a part of Tata Group, we also assist Tata Group initiatives, and we also be part of contributing the Tata Group scholarship as a part of Tata Coffee. And the next slide talks about some of the educational scholarship we given last 2 years. Last year, the recipients were of the tune of 514 students, and we spent around close to 10 lakhs of rupees. And next I'm going to take you through quickly, maybe another 10 minutes or so, how we are tracking our short-term, long-term action plans and what are our measures to track, because it's very important to keep some measures. Otherwise the progress will be not known clearly. That's why under each thrust area of affirmative action or a dimension of affirmative action, we develop measures as well as we develop action plans in short term as well as long term. So we are trying to talk about each dimension, which is employability dimension. If you talk about, we said that there are two ways we try to address this dimension. One is how to identify and address the people who got inflicted with social evils. Similarly, how are we planning to sponsor the students of these communities in a methodical, systematical way year on year, and taking the help of some of the initiatives. When we talk about measures, we talk about crisply how do we really track if this is happening in a progressive manner, or is it effectively being implemented or not. That is where we develop our measures. Like some of the measures I'm talking about this particular dimension are like number of ST persons who have undergone rehabilitation program. How many are coming back to this? Number of persons who were successful in leaving this alcoholism. That is very important for us. Not only counseling, how effective this counseling is, how much they are taking forward this initiative to their support. And the second part of this dimension is SC/ST students. who have undergone ITI training in the year? Similarly, how many of them who are trained getting into successful path of employment and talking about either their own vocation or going to the mainstream as a job potential? This is what is very important to us. You can see some of our action plans in this typically on the last column of the table. Short-term action plans as well as long-term action plans. If you see the long-term action plan, where I just thought of staying for a minute, sorry, we kept some percentage. Our technical pool of Tata Coffee Limited should have this community represent some percentage. This is the real aspiration for us, but still we thought it is doable and we are going to do it. That is what we are trying to do. And we'll go to the next dimension, maybe because this presentation is being shared with all of you. You can go through each of the short-term, long-term action plan. I'm touching upon some of the critical ones, which I thought I need to put a little focus. In an employment dimension, I was talking about employment to these communities which are already getting benefited. How to bring to their closer people who also belong to these communities, who also could be good advocates for us, because TCL, when we want to do it, we also wanted to take many people along with us and trying to do the what is called proper communication to other set of people, using these people as our change agents. So we are trying to bring more employment for the people who are belonging to these communities, who are already working and who are known to them. So we are trying to capture that. And we are also measuring that is percentage of SC/ST employees. As I told you, we are at a band which is almost 65 to 70%. So unless we start now building our action plans to sustain, it is difficult otherwise, because these sort of higher bands, they can slip off at any point of time unless the action plans are really supportive in sustenance. So we are trying to do that. So we are trying to see their proper review of their eligibility criteria, and we always say that we always try to maintain plus 5% in our contract, migrant force, every ST community. You can say that we are at 65. That is where affirmative action is going to help us. And coming back to the third dimension, which is education. Yes, this is purely an academical assistance to the candidates who deserve, to the candidates who seek support, to the candidates whom we wanted to encourage, looking at their background. So we try to do this and trying to look at not only for the employee or a workforce children, but also surrounding community children who wants this. We try to help them. And we try to also give a lot of guidance for them for their persuasion of professional, non-professional courses. And we try to sit with their parents, with the children, try to seek their interest in their subjects and try to guide them in a way which suits them more. So that's why we try to keep measures of how many children are getting the scholarships, how many actually successfully continuing their education over scholarship, because just giving scholarship may not end of the objective. Trying to see them getting benefit of this scholarship and trying to see them coming back to the mainstream and taking the fullest advantage of this affirmative action initiative support. and trying to build their confidence. That's how our measures more talked about not only a financial assistance, but also their utilization successfully. This is where it is talking about. And we also try to see them, how many of them we keep track or keep records. How many of them got benefited, where are they, which part of the country they are, how much they're into the mainstream, is there any further support required or not. This is how we try to keep. And we also start, when we talked about Human Development Index, we also started another program which is called Adult Literacy Program. This is about the students who are trying to educate themselves, looking at the society development, but the people who are already working, who are in the age group of higher, how also for them make the education as an attraction. So that part of that we try to handle through adult literacy programs. We are coming to the entrepreneurship. This is where we are little weaker in Tata Coffee right now, but we are trying to take the help from TGBL and Tata Group, because we recently got all the entrepreneurship list who are belonging to the SC/ST communities, and from that list we are trying to identify who can support in our business and trying to reach them and giving them an opportunity and trying to request them to compete with our other vendors and suppliers, so that we will feel proud in giving them the order. At the same time, if some suppliers or vendors belonging to this community is not up to the mark, it is our moral responsibility to upgrade them. That also we try to take, and we also trying to focus more of these vendors, entrepreneurs come from the communities surrounding us. Is very important. That's where we are trying to put some efforts on not only taking these entrepreneurs into our business as partners, but also developing them to be our partners. So this is the entrepreneurship dimension which I feel I should touch upon. And these are the 4 dimensions which we are working, and our action plans are being monitored, tracked and reviewed in a scheduled fashion. And we are trying to learn from other group of companies who are doing very good job in this, and trying to develop ourselves to be successfully upgrade ourselves in affirmative action initiative. And we want Tata Coffee to play a key role in Tata Group regarding this initiative. This what is my last slide. I think I talked about affirmative action at length about Tata Coffee. I think I'm ready to now listen to your questions, and whatever best possible answers I can give, I'll go. Otherwise, I'll come back and answer your questions. Thank you very much for being with me all this time.